When I think of a fence, Scott, I tend to think of the old white picket fence, and that's wood. So, and I know that's one type of fence, but tell us about the wood fencing you guys offer.
Wood fencing is a very economical way to solve a problem, and that is enclosing your yard. I tell people 95% of our customers are dogs. And a wood fence is probably the easiest.
What's it like working with dogs?
Yeah, and they're great. They're great. They don't really give you too much feedback other than wagging their tails. But it's a great way to enclose the back of your yard. Let's say you're moving in from out of town and you need a solution quickly. You have so many items on your checklist of painting, carpet, that finding that money to put in a fence. The funds are maybe a little limited, and that's where a wood fence is a great solution.
And in terms of the styles you have, and I guess the sizes, it just is give an idea of what the options are.
So there's several traditional styles of fence. There's picket, like you mentioned. There's shadow box. There's privacy. But now there's new styles that are pretty popular, like horizontal privacy fences, and you can add some design with wood to really update and modernize that wood fence to look really cool. And so based on your needs, if you want to create some privacy from, let's say, a neighboring patio, maybe we do a 6-foot privacy fence. If all you're looking to do is keep your dog in, maybe we just stick with a picket fence. If your dog is a barker, maybe we do a 4-foot shadow box that closes off line of sight from the street or the neighbor dog. And so there's a lot of things that we can talk about.
You definitely know dogs because you brought us some real life issues. That's great. Okay, that's great.
But certainly dog lovers, and it is honestly a big part of our business is wood fences for our furry friends.
Nice. And so how long does it take to, just in terms of deciding where the fence should go, is it traditionally people just follow the property line?
Yeah.
And can I ask, who figures out where the property line is exact and makes that decision?
Yes, and I would say 9 times out of 10, almost 99 out of 100 times, we're putting the fence on the property line, maximizing the size of the yard. The property pins, believe it or not, are probably still there in the ground. We do have a metal detector that can help locate those. Seldomly do customers need to have a survey conducted. Ultimately, it's the customer's responsibility. However, we're able to find that for them and take kind of that guessing game out of it by locating the property pins.
All right.
So that we know we're putting the fence in the right spot every single time.
And you need permits and such. Do you guys deal with all that headache?
Yep. In almost every municipality here in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio requires a fence permit. We handle that for you. All you have to do is just sit back and enjoy the process.
That's pretty nice.
It is a very, I would say, minimal permit process too. There is no real inspections or let's say building department involvement. It's more or less just documentation that you are putting a fence in your backyard. So I don't want people to get too withheld that this is some type of
it's going to be a great problem.
Process.
So it's a wood fence. So do I have choices if I want to buy pre-painted, pre-stained afterward, or
and so let's say the choice of lumber is pressure treated pine that comes wet, and that would need time before you can
you need a season or something, don't you? Okay, so you'd put it up. Correct. It would be and
then you could call us back and we come stain it. Or if you wanted to do a cedar fence, which we do a lot of in this region, those boards can come pre-stained because they don't have a waterproofing element to them. They can be dipped and stained and then installed, so you have a stained fence at the conclusion of the project.
That's a really nice, so you guys have a lot of options. Like with your decks, do you offer me any sort of a picture or something so I can see this fence on my property?
As mentioned, there's a lot of straightforward, historical fences. However, we do have full catalog of, recent work that you might be able to pull some inspiration from and say, hey, I want my fence to look like that.
That's great.
We can do that too.
Pretty much, you guys can pretty much do any kind of fence, can you? So, Patriot fencing and deck. The fencing comes first, and they should be first in your mind if you're going to get some fencing done. So, thanks a lot, Scott.
Great, thank you.
Appreciate that.